for me to put an app on the telephone so I could get audio.
Okay. Yeah, I see. No worries at all. Thanks for working through that. I know that's probably not the most fun thing. There's always
Well, I mean, I appreciate it. It's just I appreciate your patience because I was looking and talking to you and had everything turned up on the screen and finally came across and said, nope, you're not going to get any audio.
Yeah, the little mic, usually there's a little microphone icon next to you, your name up there with the video. I can see the video icon, but the audio wasn't even showing up because normally I could ask you to, turn on or start audio. So, but anyway, well, looks like you're in sunny Florida.
Yeah, well, my wife does attorney rep claims for Progressive Insurance.
Yeah.
And she's actually on a claim right now on the telephone inside the house.
Okay.
And we rescue animals, and so I've got a couple animals in there that have no eyes. They were born with no eyes.
Huh.
And in order for her to have a quiet session, I proceeded outside, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Well, yeah. Thanks for taking some time to chat here today, and
I appreciate it.
I know Burnworth has had a lot of positive things to say regarding you and your work and whatnot. So I was looking forward to having a conversation with you.
Cool.
Looking at your resume as well too. You got a lot of longevity there. It looks like you were at Denny's for a long time doing stuff for them. And
yeah. I designed their prototype. I was the last signature that made that go directed. And when I went to Food Service Concepts, we redesigned a prototype that was $250,000 cheaper than Denny's. So there's only 2 prototypes in the country, but I've done a lot more than just Denny's. I mean, I've done a lot of successor forms, which means I converted 138 Flying J's in 11 months.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, when Jimmy Haslett bought Flying J and the Federal Trade Commission took over, we were building ground ups adjoined to his pilots, and then it was a conglomerate. So we had to wait until the Federal Trade Commission allowed them to do that. And then we did a ton of conversions. You know what that's like.
Yeah.
Saw cutting coming in, probably doing the majority of what you guys are doing right now, whether it's a vanilla shell or whether you're going into an existing slab, just making it work for what you need.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'd say 99% pretty much all we have going on right now is tenant build outs. And so some of those spaces are, previous tenants got to do some demolition, or some of them are brand new. And so, which makes it simple to go in and do what you need to do. But
don't laugh at this. Don't laugh at this. But Ben there did that and got a T-shirt. Okay.
Yeah. Sure. When we were talking on the phone here last week, I know you mentioned that you just finished up a job in Avon or up in Whitestown or somewhere, Grand Park.
The last one I finished up is closer to you, Westfield, right across from Grand Park.
Yeah. Okay.
And but that was with JRF Construction, and what happened was they ran into a situation where they put a superintendent on the job that just really couldn't handle it, and then the structure of the internals of the building were not exactly what was in regards to a tenant approval.
Right.
So basically, I had to redesign the restaurant on the fly. And I don't know if you know anything about a Denny's, but you're talking about, I don't know.
I mean, I was a fan of the Grand Slam there for a while.
Well, if you walked into this restaurant, you'd be totally amazed, because I did everything from the marketing to getting a mural of Grand Park to put on the wall, to all the directions. Cool. But we had to relocate and redesign this building from the kitchen out because of the way that the structure was made. So, I mean, you're talking about as-builts from plumbing, electrical, and mechanical. I mean, it was almost crazy that I had to go in with the trades and redesign it on the fly. It was a hard project. It really was. Hardest one I've ever done in my lifetime.
And that was the one up in Westfield?
Yeah, it was. But then we did Whitestown, and then we did Avon. That's the three that I've done this year up in Indiana.
Okay.
I had 3 going on at the same time 2 years ago up in Illinois, which was Avon, Batavia, and Hoffman Estates, and all 3 of those were going on while my house was getting destroyed from a hurricane. But
Ugh.
yeah, that was a fun one.
The which hurricane was that?
That was Miss Irma.
Irma, that's right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
What you're looking at behind me was not in existence after Irma. Yeah, she took down our marina over in Tavares, and we still don't have slips over there at this time.
Huh.
But
Yeah.
It blew out my seawall. It collapsed everything. It was about $62,000 out of pocket. Insurance didn't pay for anything.
Oh man.
It was crazy, Ben.
Why wouldn't they? I mean, I'm sure you had to have had hurricane insurance of some capacity.
They don't really have what's called hurricane insurance. They have what's called wind insurance. But because this started on the water, they find these loopholes. And trust me, I mean, 2 friends of mine called me yesterday, Ben, and they've lost their homeowners insurance because their roofs are 10 years old. Now, granted, GF gives you a 30-year shingle protection. The houses are built to 2010 Miami-Dade code, which if you looked at the tin tabs on the felt on there, you could probably see Pluto from the reflection in a planet.
Yeah.
But because their roofs are over 10 years old, they just lost they had to either replace their roof or they lost their insurance. So there's some crazy things going on politically in this country. And one of those is insurance companies.
Huh. Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Yep.
Really. Well, I don't know what all John shared about Banyan and what we do.
Not a darn thing.
Not
He
a
just
darn
told
thing.
me to call you.
Okay. Yeah, we right now we got probably about 43 employees. Our office is located in Brownsburg. And we do commercial construction. As of right now, we've been building 4 solar salons.
What's the name of that? Solus?
SOLA salons. Yeah. We've been building with probably over 50, almost 60 owners, franchisees owners. We've been building them throughout the country.
Okay.
This year, we're looking at potentially beyond just solos, but we've been staying busy with that. Last year, I think we built 40. 2019, we built 39, and then this year looking to build 50, probably minimum 50. And so all over the U.S., all over. Get ready to start. Our second one starting in California. A lot in the Northeast, East Coast, Midwest, even down. We got some going on Savannah. One started in Savannah, Georgia, here very recently, and so we were always looking for qualified, superintendents to come on board.
I'm not trying to be rude, but if I'm not looking directly at you, this pen's writing and taking notes the whole time we're talking, so I apologize.
Oh no, you're fine. I see it. No, that's fine. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the jobs are all, like I said, they're all tenant build outs. We go strip malls, some shopping malls. Got a couple that we're starting inside some malls as well. Generally 90 days is our goal, 90-day build out.
I do ground ups in 90 days. So
yeah. So yeah, you probably, I think early on, I think Burnworth may hold the record for the second fastest store. I think Jansen, the owner, was the one that got one done the fastest. But the busier that the economy had gotten, I think over the past several years, the finding good subs has been a little more competitive, a little more challenging, and
understandable.
Kind of drawn the process out a little bit. But yeah, we've got our office. We've got about 18 folks on staff here at the office. Everything from pre-construction. Jansen does the site surveys. We got a guy who does and kind of works with lease leases. So we help work with the owners from kind of beginning to end, help them find a space, and then pre-construction, offer some project management aspects here from the office. Working to get the prints lined out, adjustments, changes made, site mobilization set up, and to get some of the main subs set up before the handoff to the superintendents. And then the superintendent also does have, some of that responsibility once they get there for finding some of the subs locally for a specific job.
Well, in my process and what I was doing, the only thing I didn't do at my company was sign the checks.
Yeah.
So it's really nice to have that level of assistance. Anytime you can have some due diligence helping you, especially throughout this process. I did everything from the takeoffs to the ordering to the millwork package to working with. The only thing I didn't do was provide the food and the napkins and the silverware. When they walked in the door, it was a zero punch and they were ready to go.
Wow.
So it's really nice to have a support network that you guys have implemented, because I'm used to doing it from soup to nuts.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the goal. We know without the superintendents out there doing it, we wouldn't be doing what we're doing. And so it's very much a team effort. A lot of field support. Yeah. Even if
that's wonderful.
Even if like, hey, Burnworth, I'm having trouble finding a sub in this area. Can you recommend somebody? He can get on the phone and reach out and try to find some names to get to you. So, but yeah. So yeah, that's
what's really good about that is because, I'm going to go back to not food service where I was with the Denny's network. I worked in 48 of the 50 states and 4 countries with Denny's. And so when I ran facilities, I had networks of people working for us. As a matter of fact, our millwork contractors are all out of California and Mexico. And so you have a network of people that I can coincide. Even today on my travel and my criteria, Denny's Corporation has allowed me to stay on their discounts via whatever I go to, hotels, cars, all of that. But just to have, their department went from over 50 people in their department. They're down to 3 now.
Oh, wow.
So,
yeah.
But you always have that kind of work of people that you can rely on, especially myself, John, and everybody in the office.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I think,
Did I lose you?
Yeah, I'm losing. It's breaking up a little bit. Can you hear me?
Hello?
Are you there?
I am here.
Yeah, I can hear you now. Are you there?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
What the heck is going on? Okay, I can hear you, Ben.
Okay, good. Yeah, I think the wind was just blowing a little too hard, blowing the signal out of the air.
I'm sorry, man, but I had to get out of the house. It's not.
No, that's fine. No.
Hey, you can tell Jansen that if he's coming down like he's supposed to come down and fish with Buck, just tell him that his boat's sitting right there. You see it?
Okay. Yeah. That's cool.
His boat's right there, ready for him to go.
Yeah.
Or he can take a couple of these, and Buck's waiting for him to come down.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Yeah.
So talk to me a little bit about your company. What do you do? Do you do salary? What do you do?
Yeah, our superintendent. We got a couple of guys who are 1099, but our superintendents are salary. Salary. We got benefits, health insurance.
I could use your 401k. I've got a fantastic health insurance, so that could probably help me compensate on the salary portion. Right. I won't need to go on your insurance ratio because I've had my wife's insurance for 20 plus years.
Oh, wow.
So even Denny's couldn't compete with the insurance that we get from her. And we just pay them to implement me. So, and they've been doing it for years.
Yeah, that works really good. Yeah, there's usually a vehicle allowance per diem, things that are lodging, things that are negotiated. There's usually a lodging budgeted in for each job, so much per month. So
You fly to most of your jobs, especially when they're across the country, don't you?
It really depends. Generally, most of the superintendents will drive because they'll be there for a length of time, and be able to have their vehicle there without renting it. It just depends.
Okay.
It depends on if they're going, I know we've got some guys that are closeout team, punch out guys. They have vans and they drive everywhere. But I think most of the time the guys will drive, but there's a vehicle allowance there for that. And obviously it depends on it depends on the situation. To my understanding, yeah, most of the time you're driving because you're going to be there for, little, generally guys will take a break, every few weeks, 3 to 4 weeks, it just depends on as far as getting back home, how far away they are, whether they drive or
all right,
hop on a flight, come back, that sort of thing.
I got you. So, I mean, I've been doing this now for 9 years. I had a company vehicle for 20, but I can tell you right now that from my experience, what I'm doing, I could probably rent a car in a hotel cheaper than driving and paying the mileage. I mean, normally that would equate to somewhere between, $39 to $40 a day, and you're talking about, from here to California, you're talking about 6,400 miles. So when you equate to that, it's like from here,
yeah,
it's like from here to you guys in Indiana, that that's 3,400 miles, 1,700 each way.
Yeah.
So, do you foresee anything happening in the Southeast United States, or is most of your stuff like Savannah, Georgia, and that? Or I know you had some projects in Tampa. Do you see any of that happening?
I know we got one right now in Fort Myers. I know I look at the activity report. I mean, we have done a lot in Florida. I'm not sure what's coming up specifically real soon here. Some stuff I know in New York. We've done a lot of stuff in Pennsylvania, the Northeast, some stuff in South Carolina. I'm not sure if there's anything lined up for Florida anytime soon here.
Okay. Well, it is where it is, right?
Yep.
You go where the money is. What roughly are you paying a superintendent now?
It depends on experience. I know when we normally advertise it, we normally advertise between like 60 and 100. And there's opportunity for bonuses, and bonusing on that as well too.
Right.
And so I think it depends on where you're at, obviously. Different states go higher.
I appreciate just the the honesty. I do.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm looking here to see kind of where some of our next stuff is lined up for. Couple jobs, PA, Viera, Florida, Alabama, Coral Gables, Florida.
Hardest town in Florida. I actually
Jacksonville, Davie, Florida. A lot down there.
Well, you just hit the hardest town in all of Florida is Coral Gables.
Is it really?
Yeah. I actually have a letter in Coral Gables. It's still there. That gives me power. It gives me all the power of attorney for all the Denny's in Coral Gables.
Huh. Yeah, it looks like there's active negotiation within the lease. Looks like they've got a site visit that they're settling on, so they're working on negotiations with that. But
well, Ben, just so you know, I have worked down in Coral Gables and areas like that, you have a community appearance board, and all the buildings have to be painted and everything has to be done. But since you're going into existing buildings, I have gone to hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these board meetings working with the cities. When I go into a project, I go in and meet them independently.
Yeah.
I'll meet all the inspectors. I'll put a name to a face. That's just kind of the way that I do things,
Yeah.
because it is so tough in Florida. And I'm not sure whether you realize that when the codes change from the Miami-Dade codes, that those Miami-Dade codes are being implemented all over the world now, especially all through the country.
Hmm.
But some of the hardest places to work are Coral Gables, Margate, Miami Beach, all those places down there. Davie is not as bad as most. City of Hollywood, I know. So you wind up learning and knowing all of these people, and that's what I've done. In case you need any assistance on getting in front of these people, I'll be more than happy to do that for you and Jansen.
Right. Awesome. No, it's definitely good to know. It's good information for sure. It's great talking with you.
You too.
Dennis, I don't know. Is there anything else? Any other questions you have for me?
Yeah. You have a timeline yeah. So how do you think our communication went, Ben?
I think it's been good. I think that, there's, I know, you persisted and got your Microsoft Office updated. Send me your resume. And
actually, I have taking after this meeting, I'm taking it down and redoing it again because I lost it on both. And that's the first resume. That's the first resume I've ever done in my life, by the way.
Yeah. In demand, you're like, we don't need a resume. Come on.
Well, believe it or not, when you're going to laugh your butt off, but that's the way it's been.
Yeah.
But I just want you to know that I wasn't BSing you. I had more problems with this thing. Carter had liver pills, and then I'm taking both of my laptops down to my computer guy as soon as I get off here.
Yeah.
I can't even figure out why it wouldn't even allow me to have audio right now with you on the Zoom. So.
Yeah, I don't know. Usually it usually asks whenever you open it up if you want to connect with computer audio or how you want to connect.
It did. It asked me that.
Yeah.
And I said yes, and then the computer said, "Well, you might want to do that, but your computer is not set up to do that." So.
Yeah. That's one of the things that we do. We do use a lot of technology. So I was curious as to, as far as when you run your jobs, are you familiar with any computer software that you use to run the sites with? Because we do use like a co-construct. It's like we used to use Builder Trend, but it's kind of just like a scheduling software that we use. It's all online. We use Dropbox, different things for sharing files and all those sorts of things.
I used Dropbox for quite a while. We found it had some pluses and minuses.
Yeah.
As far as scheduling goes, I've never had to do it in that type of respect, because when I put a schedule out for my people, I always like to have a pre-con meeting.
Yeah.
And then I like to have weekly meetings and make sure everybody's on board. But
right.
Whatever it is software wise, it is what it is, my friend.
Yeah.
I took me 7 minutes, but I had to redesign, I had to redo, I had to go back and I had to get the app. I had to do everything. I was scrambling to get you back online, brother.
Yeah. No, it's good. We do have some different, a couple of things that we use. We use app for tracking our expenses, as far as submitting receipts and different things like that. And
What's that? Is that Concur?
No, I'm familiar with Concur. We use Tally currently. Okay. So yeah, but we have training and different things and resources, a lot of stuff in Dropbox itself, like videos and how to do this and how to do that. So,
all right. I use Concur for 10 years.
Do you? Yeah.
So, yeah. It's simple because you take a picture of your receipt. It's right on there. It's logged in. I mean, and it was a wonderful application when we got it. Really
Yeah.
was.
Yeah. It makes it a lot easier than keeping track of all the receipts and
Yep.
doing all that, because you can code it there and such. So yeah, I don't know as far as time frame. I know we did have we brought on a couple of new guys, but it looks like we're going to have spot for one more coming on here fairly soon.
Okay.
I'm not 100% certain timeline wise. I mean, you know how that goes.
I do.
But you know,
Well,
after Burnworth talked to me initially when we talked, I told him, I was like, well, I'll talk to Dennis and do an interview and let him know, hey, right now we're maybe not really anytime soon, but at any moment we can. But since then it has, you know, it's been one of those things where you know,
well,
a little more, looks like a little more in need of someone sooner. So
well, I mean, you know, you talked about. I'm going to tell you a little story real quick, and I hope you don't mind. But you talked about, you know, your time frames on taking buildings down. I've got one that I took down on an International Drive in Orlando, which, if you know International Drive, it's like Las Vegas Boulevard.
right.
And right on the corner of Kirkman and International Drive, we had a Denny's that we tried for 3 years to get a replat on it, and the girl sat on her desk. She finally got terminated, and they found the replat underneath her lowest file. And when I went down to the commission and I met with the mayor, he was really depressed because at the time that they were doing that, the economy was turning around and we were getting ready to build the most unbelievable building you've ever seen in your life on that road.
Huh.
Like we did on Las Vegas Boulevard and Fremont Street and a couple other ones right across from the Mirage in Las Vegas Boulevard. But to make a long story short, I gutted that building completely to the studs, inside and out, put a brand new MDP in it. You could walk in the front door and see out the back door, and opened it for business in 17 days.
Oh my gosh, that's pretty impressive. Yeah.
But trust me, I had some really, really, really good contractors working with me, and they were just amazing, man.
Yeah.
And we
Did anybody sleep during those 17 days?
No, I mean it was 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
I was on site for 16. When I'm on site, I'm usually on site 7 days a week, about 12 to 14 hours a day every time that I am doing a project.
Yeah.
On these type of projects would be a lot easier because you have half the rough ends and half of the whole 2 dimensions that we do. I mean, it's so critical on everything that we do because everything's coming in specialized. You know, every size, every piece, everything has to fit into a nutshell, and they maximize the efficiency. But you've got it. This is amazing. I mean, I look forward to it because this is a breath of fresh air. This is good. This is good stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome.
Are you salons, are they the individual salons where everybody goes into an individual room, or is it an open salon?
No, it's the individual studios. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm very aware of that. Okay.
Yeah.
How many individual studios do you normally have?
Gosh, I don't know how many they normally put in there. I know sometimes it's 20, sometimes it's 40. I'm not sure what the most. I'm not sure.
I got you.
I'm just the HR recruiting guy. They don't let me. I could go through Dropbox and start snooping around, but
you don't fly out for a pedicure and a manicure. Okay, I got
you. No. Yeah. So.
All right, buddy.
Cool.
All right. So let me know if I can help you.
All right.
I would love to. Everything sounds great. I'm trainable. I mean, just put a carrot in front of my face. I'll be able to handle it.
Yeah.
I'm really sorry about the Zoom call, buddy. I really am.
Oh, no worries. You're persistent. Some people would have just give up and be like, it's not worth it. So you passed the first test.
I was sitting there going, "Hey Ben, are you there? hold on. If you can hear me, hold on. I'm doing this a different way."
Yeah.
All right, cool. Buddy.
All right. Well, you have a good one.
Great talking to you.
Yeah, great talking to you as well.
I look forward to possibly working with you someday, man.
Yeah, sounds good. All right,
Hey,
Dennis, have a good one.
you too, Ben. Thanks for the time, buddy.
All right, thanks. Bye.
Bye-bye.